Hello, welcome to Newscentre. I'm Parikshit Luthra. The Election Commission announced a pan-India special intensive revision of electoral rolls that has already muddied the political waters in Bihar. Elections are due in the state next month. Speaking at a press conference earlier today, the CEC, the Chief Election Commissioner Ganesh Kumar, said and laid out the blueprint of the pan-India drive, which will kickstart tomorrow. He said that the exercise would cover 12 states, including West Bengal, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, where elections are due next year. Assam also goes to polls next year, but was not included in the list. Kumar explained that all chief electoral officers and district electoral officers have been directed to meet political parties and brief them of the special intensive revision of electoral rolls process by day after tomorrow. The Chief Election Commissioner said that the first phase of S.I.R was completed in Bihar with 0 appeals.
एक से जगह ज्यादा रजिस्टर होने वाले वोटर्स, कई बार किसी की डेथ होने के बाद भी उसका नाम न हटाया जाना या गलती से किसी भी विदेशी नागरिक का नाम मतदाता सूची में आ जाना, इन चारों कारणों की वजह से चुनाव आयोग ने निर्णय लिया कि पूरे देश में चरणबद्ध तरीके से एसआईआर कराया जाए और इसकी पहली कड़ी बिहार आपके सामने समाप्त भी हो चुकी है और बड़े सफलतापूर्वक लोगों ने चुनाव आयोग पर विश्वास भी जताया है.
To take this discussion forward, I'm now joined by political analyst Sandeep Shastri, BJP spokesperson Syed Zafar Islam and Sujata Paul, Congress spokesperson. Thank you very much for joining us. Sujata Paul, let me get your first reaction. A big point that the CEC made was that when the draft rolls were put out after the S.I.R exercise was completed in Bihar, there were 0 appeals. And even now, there will be an extensive period of appeal that will be allowed, and Election Commission officials will visit the house, every house, at least 2 to 3 times. Do you feel now that the opposition's concerns around this exercise have been addressed?
We'll have to wait and watch as to what happens next in these 12 states and union territories. But as far as Bihar S.I.R is concerned, it was a complete failure. And if it was a success, then clearly the government at the center is an illegal one, because the 65 lakh voters who were disenfranchised were the ones who had whose names were there in the voters list for the Lok Sabha elections also. But what is very important is that the results of S.I.R Bihar have proved that it is still, asking for a lot, because there have been questions on the 5 lakh duplicate voters, the 1 lakh voters without names, the A, B, hash kind of names that are there. And most importantly, when questions have been raised on this, the CEC has said time and again that it was the responsibility of the BLOs to be, the BLAs to be appealing. But the fact of the matter is, it is the responsibility of the Election Commission to ensure that every single eligible citizen is included in the electoral roll. But that is not happening clearly. When you first shift the onus of proof on the citizen to ensure that the name, his or her name is included in the list. And secondly, when you shift the burden onto a political party and their electoral officers, it is solely and wholly the mandate of the ECI which has been given to it by the Constitution of India. They haven't mentioned what has happened to the migratory population who is not present in Bihar at this point of time. Supposing, let's presume that those people, some of those people are not able to return and vote. Is it fair that their names are excluded from there because nobody was present in their homes to ensure that their names were included? You know what has happened when the matter went to the Supreme Court and the 11 documents were being considered. So now we have to wait and watch and see what exactly happens. Because if you remember, the census of 2001 had taken place, after which the 2003 S.I.R took place, which was basically 1 year before the Lok Sabha and 2 years before the Vidhan Sabha elections in Bihar. And clearly, if you're looking at what is happening now, there is no data. Where is that data? Why is the census not complete? There are a whole lot of questions, and certainly we will have to wait and see what exactly the plan of the ECI is, because clearly it has been working for the BJP,
Okay.
and we
Let
are
me get in
still
Syed
not
Zafar
sure of
Islam.
it.
Zafar Islam, how do you respond to Sujata Paul? The point that the opposition is making, and this is what DMK Stalin also raised earlier today, that the BJP, the NDA, the Election Commission, they are trying to disenfranchise voters in the country, especially those which are not going to vote favorably for the BJP. And this is something that goes against minorities and backward classes. How do you respond to that?
Well, it's absolutely baseless. There is absolutely no truth in whatever the allegation which has been made by the opposition parties. The fact that we welcome this initiative of the Election Commission, because the Election Commission is only trying to establish two things: that the voter list is clean, transparent, and free from any anomalies. And that is what their intention is, that every data should be accurate, and it has to be made accurate by conducting this S.I.R. Because this will help, this entire process will help to ensure that people who have died because of urbanization, there are a lot of people who have migrated. So people who have died, their name is still there. That name needs to be excluded from the list of electoral people. And people who have migrated and now become voters in some other states, their name needs to be excluded from where they are not residing at the moment. So our intention is very clear that we need to support any initiative by the authority. In this case, the Election Commission is the authority which is conducting a process, a process to clean the electoral roll and ensure that it is accurate from every possible way, and it is fairer for every party, not only for X party or Y party. It is fair for every party, because everybody will know that this list is clean from, and there is no duplication of vote. There is no somebody who is not resident of the country or is not a bona fide resident of the country is also part of the electoral roll. Those needs to be removed. So I think we have supported it, the initiative of the Election Commission. But if the opposition has an issue, they must go and engage Election Commission, because the Election Commission now is engaging every political party. Their feedback is important. They are taking feedback from them before conducting the exercise. And more importantly, even if they have some observation, they have their concern. They're always open to going to court and approach the court if they find it something which is working against their interest. But their interest is that the name of those voters who are not even citizens of this country, who have died, who have migrated from one place to another, that it should continue in the same electoral list. That will not happen. That has to be removed. And that is something that's why we are supporting. This is fairer, accurate, and it is clean and transparent.
All right, let me get in Mr. Sandeep Shastri at this point. Mr. Shastri, how important was this to conduct this exercise? The last time it happened was 21 years ago. It happened in 2004. The special intensive revision has happened 8 times in our electoral history. This is what the CEC had said. The politicians, the opposition has objections to it, but the sheer importance of this exercise, according to you?
Parikshit, I would strongly endorse what both my co-panelists have said, because the points they have made are important. It is beyond a shadow of doubt that we must have clean electoral rolls. Those who have passed away, their names should be taken out. Those who don't live in an area or have their names in more than one place should be out. So there are errors of omission and commission which need to be corrected. My question would be, while this needs to be done, on which there is no second question, a special intensive revision needs to be done possibly, but I am, Parikshit, going to focus on another S.I.R, which is sureness, identity, and result. For me, that is more important. The sureness of the process we are taking forward. Are we 100% sure that that process will invoke the trust of the citizen? Have we made sure that all are covered, enough time is given, and there are opportunities for any remedies to be there? Secondly, have we made sure that the multiple identities for proof that people use are now able to be used? The Supreme Court, in its last move on this, said the Aadhaar should be something that should be permitted. So, are we allowing for various legitimate identities to be used? And finally, does the result of this exercise demonstrate that it will lead to a cleaner electoral list? So I'm making 2 points, Parikshit. S.I.R is important. Revision of rolls is important. Cleaning of rolls is important. Authentic voters list is important. But while it is important, the process is equally important. And does that process ensure sureness? Does that process ensure recognition of all
Let me
valid
put that question to
identities,
Sujata Paul.
and let that process ensure the right results?
Right. Sujata Paul, is that your concern, that there is 1 month to file an appeal after the draft is published? You feel that the current process does not allow people a good amount of time to appeal against this, and also there is concerns among people who are working in different states, but maybe from another state?
That's exactly what I said. There will never be enough time if you give a time of 1 month. And especially, my more important point is that how is it that you call this a foolproof system when actually speaking there is no system which is foolproof, and that is why in a democracy we should always question our systems to strengthen them. But here, what I find amazing is that the BJP clearly says that everything that is being done by the ECI is foolproof, it is correct, and there is no problem. Now, if they wanted to strengthen the system, they would also find some problems somewhere. But no, this is a near perfect system according to them, whereas people who migrate from every state, it's not only about Bihar, it's about every state. Now, let me talk about Assam also. 19 lakh people. 19 lakh people were supposedly infiltrators according to the NRC of Assam.
All right.
But look, how many were proved to be infiltrators? Only 30,000 people. So that clearly shows that if a system is being supported by one and only one particular party, then there are going to be questions which will be raised that the ECI and BJP are in cahoots with each other.
All right, Syed Zafar Islam, how do you respond to Sujata Paul, especially about the sureness of the process? Do you feel, and do you think this is something that BJP would agree to, that at least more time should be given for appeal?
Well, we are not interfering in the process. We are just endorsing the concept. The concept of initiating this exercise where we have a clear electoral role, all these things which we have narrated in the earlier. That is the objective, and we support this objective. In case we find, or they find, because the Election Commission is open to discussing any political parties. If they feel that this process which is being initiated and the process which has been outlined, if they, for strengthening the process, if you need to do X, Y, Z, they are most welcome to suggest the Election Commission. Who is saying that they cannot approach the Election Commission? Election Commission already stated that they will engage every political parties to take their feedback. They also want that the process should be smooth, foolproof, effective, and objective driven. And if there are political parties who can contribute for better execution, more than welcome. The Election Commission is welcoming them. But the fact that the mindset that everything what Election Commission does, it does wrong, is something which they need to change. The Election Commission is an authority They will not do what you want. They will not do what I want. They will do what it is being done to ensure these are the objective which has been already stated. So to meet the stated objective, they have to comply with the process. That's all. Process you can contribute as a political
Sandeep
party.
Shastri?
You are free to contribute.
All right. Sandeep Shastri, in the current form, do you feel that there are political parties who stand to lose?
Parikshit, that would be a difficult conclusion to come to. As has been said by both my co-panelists, we need clean electoral rolls. We are one in believing that the objective of a clean electoral roll is correct. There may be differences in terms of the way we would address the process. But at the end of the day, for me, the process also is crucial, because what I think should happen is the citizen, the voter, needs to have that confidence that cleaning of the roll has happened, and those who should be included should have been included, and those excluded should have been excluded. I would plead for as I said, the S.I.R I talked about, and also two more things: a little more transparency in the process and a little more participation of multiple stakeholders in this process. I think if these two things are done, participation and transparency, the level of trust in what we are doing as part of the S.I.R would be much higher, I believe.
All right.
Can I just come in for 10 seconds?
Time, but thank you very much.
10 seconds.
Yeah, Mr. Zafar Islam.
See, the whole objective of this exercise to make it more transparent, and every stakeholders are welcome. And this is what I'm not stating, this is what is stated by the election commissioner. Secondly, that yes, there could be some observation you have. You must come and discuss with the election commission, and if your BLA needs to be activated, your BLAs are not activated. They are only trying to speak in the media, but
we're running out of time, Zafar Islam.
ECI doesn't engage with parties other than the BJP, and they don't need to engage with the BJP because they're working for the BJP and carrying out a special intensive removal exercise. That's what it is all about.
Okay, strong statements from all sides. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. We're taking a short break on Newscentre, but coming up, Donald Trump is confident of a trade deal with China ahead of his scheduled meeting with Xi Jinping later this week. A special discussion with Amitendu Palit, Senior Research Fellow at the Institute of South Asian Studies at the National University of Singapore. We speak to him about US's 4 trade deals that have been struck in Malaysia on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit.